How are you doing? Dylan Gallagher here with another thought to think about. If you're an entrepreneur or business owner trying to figure out how to increase your profits, increase your value, and how your business can do more. And today's headline that caught my attention that I thought had some value in discussing for entrepreneurs that consider themselves market leaders or businesses that consider themselves to be the bar for what happens in their given marketplace. And the headline is this: Volvo announces big plans for electric cars. So here's the deal. Just as everyone was thinking that electric cars are going to be the future, thanks to Tesla and Elon Musk, whom I talk about a lot on these little summaries, the truth is that it's not going to necessarily be electric cars. In fact, there's lots of different schools of thought out there as to what's going to run or what's going to lead the changes in the car business. And it looks like Volvo is doing their best to try and stay out in front of it. And so their announcement was that they plan to offer only hybrid or fully electric motors on every new model launched in 2019 going forward. So that means that it's going to get rid of any vehicle by 2019. It's going to start getting rid of any vehicle that relies purely on fossil fuels. So you might be thinking, Dylan, how did you pick this headline? Well, I picked it because, again, working with small and medium-sized businesses, the advantage that businesses of that size have is that they can make a change that doesn't take until 2019 to sort out. And more than that, small and medium-sized businesses every day have an opportunity to change the way business is done in their marketplace for the product or service that they offer. And what I mean by that is just because you offer a product or service in a certain way, maybe you have, let's just use an example. Let's use an example like online advertising. Let's just say in your given marketplace, everybody is paying for Google Ads. Everyone's paying for ad space. Everyone is racing to cover people's Instagram and Facebook feeds with ads. Well, if you're in a marketplace that's competitive, chances are you're paying a lot of money to get a very small piece of people's attention. But what if you flipped it up? What if you changed it entirely? What if instead of using online advertising in a conventional sense, banner placements and that sort of thing, that instead you built online marketers? Maybe you list your product or your service inside some of the affiliate networks that are out there, and instead of spending all of your dollars on competing for a tiny piece at high prices for ad space, you can instead take that same dollar amount and use it to incentivize people who are on the web trying to drive traffic to companies that have great products and services. Now, that's something that, depending on the business that you're in, may be incredibly unconventional. But there's an opportunity to do something different to try and get a different result. More along the lines of changing your business, though, some businesses are what I call, sort of hanger-oners. They're hanging on to the last innovation that was done in their marketplace, and they don't really, if their business lasted another 5 years, that would be very, very surprising. But the reason they're hanging on is because they're trying to maximize their profit before things change. And the classic version would be, companies that made the horse and buggy. They were hanger-oners until literally there just was no one left to sell a horse and buggy to. And the auto business took over, and companies that were able to make the transition did, and companies that simply bought more horses and bought more wood to make carriages didn't. And so when I look at this announcement from Volvo, it just causes me to think, how many businesses out there can put a map together, or can forecast, or can navel gaze, or can look down the road and say, you know what? Whether we're right or wrong doesn't matter, but we're making a change. And we're going to commit to this change in our business that's going to produce a different result. And with Volvo, it's getting rid of any vehicle that runs purely on fossil fuels. And that's a pretty big step for them. But what is it for your business? What big change could you commit to in your business that would probably change your business entirely? Not maybe from the fundamental use case for why people use your product or service, but how they use it, or how it's delivered to them, or maybe some of the features that add to the experience that people ultimately pay for. So anyway, just some things to think about there. If Volvo's getting rid of if Volvo is getting rid of fossil fuel only engines, what is your business doing to prepare itself for the buyers of the future of your products or services. Anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Make sure if you're listening to this on the podcast that you subscribe. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything. And we'll see you here again tomorrow.